Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back for another Total War video with the Terminator. Yesterday, I released a video talking about why every Total War player needs to try modded Total War. It's not a scary thing, and it honestly makes Total War the best it can be. So again, if you haven't tried mods, guys, in Total War, you have to. Anyway, I digress. I've decided, having made that video, that I will begin a series of mod spotlights. This will be a lot like my strategy spotlight series, where I cover various current and upcoming strategy games you have to try or keep an eye on. This one, though, will be very focused on specific mods that either really enhance Total War gameplay, like graphics or unit reskins, or that change it completely, like stainless steel or Third Age Total War. The first mod spotlight is Ancient Empires for Attila Total War, and I'll be covering everything from the basics to differences with its distant cousin, Divide Et Impera, and why I, the Terminator, absolutely recommend you try it. Let's get started. Set 100 years after the death of Alexander the Great, Ancient Empires began development in early 2015 with the promise of delivering an immersive and engaging Total War experience set at the time of the rise of Rome. With humble beginnings as a submod for Divide Et Impera, it moved development from Rome to Attila in favor of the superior gameplay mechanics at the cost of a less optimized game. Nevertheless, they cracked on, and so far they've delivered an immense mod that is an absolute joy to play. It comes with 45 playable factions, all divided into subgroups of cultures and geographical areas, such as the successor kingdoms, or the Greek kingdoms, or the African and Arab tribes, all with historical accuracy of the time at its heart. So fleshed out building trees, more varied and unique units for each faction, and a diverse set of cultures that mesh and mix with each other depending on the region. It's also very much a work in progress, but a big update for the mod was released in March, which added over 200 new units, new music, campaign assets, and event scripts. So a lot more random events can be expected in your campaigns. The update also added a host of ported battle maps from Thrones of Britannia and Rome 2 Total War, which is amazing. Lots more variety in battle maps is always a fantastic thing. What makes Ancient Empires so great, though, is the level of detail and immersion the modders are bringing to the time period. The ultimate example of this in the mod, and of course what the mod is built around, is the primary conflict of the time period, the Punic Wars. Hands down, one of the best parts about historical Total Wars, and I'm sure you'll agree, is the ability to take Rome, its legions and cohorts, and just run with it. Destroy factions, conquer lands, get to the Marian reforms, raise cities, and just sweep across the known world like a chariot on fire. But in Ancient Empires, it's different. You don't start as a Rome that has its eyes set on glorious expansion. You start as a bloodied Rome, gearing towards the end of the Second Punic War, on the eve of the great Battle of Zama between General Cornelius Scipio and the Carthaginian strategy god Hannibal. At the start of your Rome campaign, you're not so much looking at what buildings you have or who should you have trade agreements with. You're literally right smack in the middle of Scipio with his army about to attack Hannibal in the Numidian desert. I mean, how fantastic is that? It's total immersion in Total War. And that's what this mod screams. Immersion. It's begging you, dying for you to get immersed in the time period, the hardships of Rome, with its fingers dipped in different cultures, high public dissent, and the biggest rivalry the Mediterranean had ever seen. One of my favorite parts of the mod, just to give you a flavor of the depth and detail, is the main settlement buildings. When you conquer a new city as Rome, for example, you don't just repair and build the first main settlement building. You have to decide the autonomy of the city and the surrounding region. Give it too much power, like an independent state, and you won't get much in tax income, but you will have a shitload of happiness because you're letting them basically keep their local culture. But make them a state government and you risk all-out civil revolt. The benefits, of course, are of higher tax rates and the cultural assimilation, but the cost is dealing with public order in a settlement for a decent number of turns if you can still hold on to it. Or you could always go the middle way with the tributary or the allied state for a more balanced approach to dealing with culture, taxes, and such. It's a fantastic system that really makes conquering new lands, new people, its own kind of mechanic. No longer do you have to rely just on a happiness meter. You really have to decide within the wider context of the empire, the circumstances with which you conquered it, and the inherent traits and characteristics of that conquered culture, what to do with the city and its people. It's just utterly fantastic. Ancient Empires is a work in progress, so there are a few issues here and there that you will notice, things that while may not be immediately game-breaking do add up at a certain point sometimes. So I'm warning you guys, try it, but be forgiving until more work is done on the mod. I'll give a few examples. The AI, which is a lot better now than it was previously, is still a bit of a pain to deal with. AI armies are generally lacking in the unit diversity you'd like to see in a modern Total War game. Campaign AI also just has ridiculous bonuses that mean even if they have one city, they can sometimes recruit up to 4 armies, sometimes more. Battle AI is where most recent improvements have been made though, but even then, the BAI constantly forces troops to run across battlefields, causing an unnecessary disadvantage on them, and sometimes the enemy general or elephant units charge ahead of the rest of the force right into you, which is just a shame to see really. But again, I can't stress enough that this isn't DEI. Ancient Empires is still young, still going through changes here and there, and can't be compared, so don't. There's a lot of polish and balancing that needs to happen, bug fixes and crashes that still need to be resolved, and plenty of content still in the works to be added. So if at the end of this video you decide to try it, guys, keep this all in mind and be forgiving. Focus on the good parts, the really impressive parts of this mod, because they're really worth it. Finally, guys, I just want to mention that Ancient Empires has a few submods as well that you can take a look at, of which I absolutely recommend the supply systems, which, as the name suggests, add the supply production, storage, and supply line mechanics to the mod, much like DEI in Rome 2. A must-have if you want to enjoy the mod to the full and make it as engaging as possible. Overall, Ancient Empires is a fantastic mod that really does give you a sense of realism and visual enjoyment for the time period that you just have to give a try. I highly recommend it, guys. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. If you did, give the video a like and absolutely drop your thoughts and any questions at all in the comment section below. Definitely subscribe to the channel for more Total War content, gameplay, and mod spotlights just like this. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.